Okay, let's unpack this. We are diving deep into a figure who, truly defined the foundational geography of modern Los Angeles.
Right.
But her story has so often been just, footnote. We're talking about Bridget Biddy Mason.
And her journey is this incredible paradox. Born into chattel slavery, and she becomes this celebrated philanthropist. One of LA's wealthiest early real estate titans.
It's unbelievable.
And what's fascinating here is the environment she was in. California becomes a free state in 1850, right? But on the ground, that meant, well, it didn't mean very much.
So freedom wasn't guaranteed at all?
Not at all. It was fraught with illegal enslavement, systemic anti-Blackness. And Mason didn't just survive this. She navigated it. She turned her skills into real, actual capital.
And the sheer physical toll of her life before that is almost unimaginable. Starting in 1848, she was forced to walk.
Yeah, get this. Around 2,000 miles?
2,000 miles behind a caravan from Mississippi to the Salt Lake Valley.
And while doing that, she's a cook, a cattle herder, a midwife.
And caring for her 3 young daughters. One was 10, one was 4, and one was a newborn.
A newborn. That journey was, of course, forced upon her, but it's also where she honed those skills that would become so valuable later on.
Right. So her enslaver, Robert Marion Smith, he brings the family to California in 1851.
Mm-hmm. Completely ignoring the fact that it's a free state.
And then, in 1855, he tries to move them again, this time to Texas, a slave state.
And that's the catalyst. That's when the free Black community in LA, especially the Omens family, they step in, they intervene.
Okay, but even with their help, there's this huge legal fight. Mason v. Smith. And at the time, California law barred Black people from testifying against white people. So how was freedom even on the table?
That's the key question, right? The legal strategy. Judge Benjamin Hayes couldn't just let her testify, so he gets creative.
Ow.
He uses the principle of habeas corpus. So instead of calling her as a witness, which was illegal, he interviews her privately in his chambers.
Ah, as an interested party whose liberty was at stake.
Exactly. It completely sidestepped the racist law. And the result was immediate. Mason and 13 of her relatives were declared free forever. Yeah. And that ruling, it was cited as the first of its kind in California. It set a massive state-level precedent against illegal slavery.
An incredible legal victory.
But she's still a newly free, single mother who can't read or write. So how does she turn that freedom into actual economic power?
The key is how she converted her skills into cash flow. Immediately. After 1856, she was already known as a brilliant nurse and midwife.
Right.
She spoke fluent Spanish, too, which was huge. So she built this high-trust, cash-based income stream. And even though she couldn't read, she was this savvy businesswoman, always asked for copies of contracts, signed them with an X.
And that cash. That led to her real estate vision.
A truly strategic vision. By 1866, she buys a house and property on Spring Street for just $250.
And you have to understand, that location, that becomes the absolute irreplaceable heart of downtown Los Angeles. It does. And from that one investment, she amassed a fortune. We're talking an estimated $7.5 million in modern currency. She was one of the city's wealthiest women when she died.
And she immediately funnels that wealth back into the community, into civic architecture.
Instantly. In 1872, she's the key financier and co-founder of the first African Methodist Episcopal Church, the FAME Church.
She actually holds the organizing meetings in her own home and then donates that very same Spring Street lot for the first building.
Which establishes not just the city's first Black church, but a critical civic center that's still foundational today.
And it wasn't just the church. She was building a whole welfare infrastructure.
That's a great way to put it. She helped fund the first elementary school for Black children. She founded a daycare center for working mothers. All of it supported the economic stability of the entire community.
That all goes back to her philosophy, right? That famous quote.
If you hold your hand closed, nothing good can come in.
Yeah.
The open hand is blessed.
It says everything. And she earned that name, Grandma Mason. Her charity was universal. She treated anyone, Black or white. She organized disaster relief, like setting up a store account for flood victims.
Yeah. Her philanthropy wasn't just about kindness. It was about building a kind of moral and civic authority that the system had denied her.
And today, the Biddy Mason Memorial Park stands on that exact spot, on that priceless Spring Street property she bought.
Right there. The memorial wall has her freedom papers, her property deed, and it ends with the line, Los Angeles mourns and reveres Grandma Mason.
So for a final thought, think about the historical irony here. The economic and civic anchor of the black community in one of America's biggest cities.
Was placed on a piece of geography the white establishment could never really displace.
Using the capital she earned from the very skills they forced her to acquire under slavery, her legal vision literally shaped the city's map.